I'm Akriti Jain, a part of Atmadruti. I'm a verbal ability, soft skill and etiquette trainer as well as an image consultant by profession. I have almost a decade of experience in training students, working professionals and entrepreneurs as well as women who are restarting their careers. Atmadruti is an organization that creates spaces where individuals, especially students and young adults, can discover their authentic selves, navigate life's challenges with resilience, and unlock their fullest potential. In line with this vision, we are launching Unblocked, a podcast platform designed to bring forward voices, aspirations, fears, beliefs, struggles, and dreams of the younger generation. Our guest today Sumegha.
Hi, I'm Shumigha. First of all, thank you for having me here. So it's my first time doing a podcast. I'm kind of excited, kind of nervous. So I think it's gonna be a fun experience. So I'm someone who just started my college. I'm in the first year and I'm pursuing my bachelor in English literature with honors and research. Yeah, that's it.
So it's lovely to have you here, Sumegha. Now, you just said that you've started going to college recently. How is that feeling? How has it been going for you? Because suddenly from the four protected walls of the school, you're out in the real world and into the college now.
So it's been like few days I went to college and it's like college life comes with freedom, in school we have certain curriculums and certain rules and regulations. You have to follow this, you have to go there, you have to learn this, you have certain direction. But in college it's like you're dropped in an ocean, you have no direction, you're free to go wherever you want, so no one tells you what to do. So it kind of like freedom, but it comes with responsibility.
Great. So like you said that you've been dropped into an ocean and you're feeling directionless at the moment. So do you feel that you're more lonely than before? And does it surprise you?
I think it's true that I feel lonely because all my friends they are different college and I'm in different college right now. So it's kind of lonely. But people tell you that college is like full of people. People come from different backgrounds. They come from different places. Everyone has different perspective of life. They have different opinions, and people will tell you that there are more people. You are surrounded by millions of people, not million, maybe hundreds of people. So you're surrounded by people, but it's surprising that despite being surrounded by people, I'm lonely because I'm being seen, but I'm not really being valued or something. I'm not really understood. So that feels
so
lonely.
How do you think you're going to navigate through this journey? You said you feel seen but not understood.
Yes, I don't think I'm fully figured out how I'm going to do that, but I think I will figure out everything.
So have you spoken to your support system or people around you who you've known before? So like you said, your other friends went to some other colleges. Are they also going through the same kind of a thing, or is this problem unique to you?
When I talk to them, they just be like, they have made friends. And I did too also make friends. But we don't really feel connected at all. Not like my old friends. The connection we feel, it's not like there. It kind of feels like pretending or performative.
So you just used a very deep word here, performative. So have you performed friendship? Have you shown up for a friend without actually being present?
I think I have done that. I think everyone has done that at some point of their life. I think it's not a crime to be performative. I just started college, so I'm still figuring out everything. I don't know where is everything situated, so I need to figure it out. So I need to figure it out. To figure out everything, I need to know somewhere, to be present at somewhere. So I think I have performed friendship to gain information, I guess. So
Okay. So that's one part of it. And the other part is that have you actually shown up for a friend without being there? As in virtually, or maybe sending across a tub of ice cream when your friend is not feeling good. You cannot be there physically, but you have compensated and still, been true to your friendship.
Yes, of course. My friends not really stay close to each other. So sometimes when they feel down, I can when they talk to me, so I I can, I can give them attention. I can listen to them actually. I have read that attention is the rarest form of generosity. So giving our time, actually listening to them, people, really, they really want someone to listen to them actually. Like when we are giving our time, the time we cannot take back, right? So it's like we are giving a part of ourselves to them. So yeah, it's like that.
Okay, that's very nice. And what do you think, Sumegha, is the difference between being known and being liked?
So yeah, I have a very simple answer for that. Being known is about recognition,
Mhm.
and being loved is like understood. Yeah.
Can you give us an example?
Being known is like people know my name, what I do, where I live, sometimes what I have achieved and all that, like all my exterior things. But being liked would be, people like me for who I am really from inside. So yeah.
Okay, so what would your future like? How do you see yourself? Would you want to be more liked, or do you want to be more known?
Of course, I would like to be more liked because it would be great if I am known to fewer people. It won't be okay if I'm known to everyone, then misunderstood and hated. But if I am known to only a few people, but I'm loved, I'm truly understood, then I think that's better.
Do you think that in the era of social media, influencers, content creators, people who are actually known for the kind of work they do, and it's not a very bad idea to be known by the masses, recognized by the masses, being popular, all these are like the next generation things. So don't you think that that part is also as important, and be it being performative, be it being pretentious, but it's equally important.
I think being popular is okay. It's kind of nice to have to be popular, but it comes with some responsibility. No, like medias follow you everywhere. You don't have peace of mind sometimes. So yeah, some people are like, certain celebrities. They have everything in life. We see them on TV, on screen, and it seems like everything is perfect going on in their life. But if you see them, they are sometimes not happy. They are not happy with all the medias, their personal life all being out. So I think
So-
popularity comes with a price.
And not being happy but being private about it does it make it any better?
It depends on person. It's
What are
very
your
subjective.
thoughts?
Can you repeat the question?
So I'm saying, you said that celebrities get a lot of attention, they're followed everywhere. So they're known, but they're not happy. And if they're not happy, it's known, it causes more stress, right?
Yeah.
So what if it's the other way around? Like a person is unhappy, but that person is unhappy in a private space.
Unhappy in a private space. Yeah, that's okay.
That's okay. So you think that's all right.
If the person, if he's materialistic, if he thinks money is everything, then
What
he
about
can
you?
be happy.
What are your thoughts?
I think happiness matters for me more.
Okay. So for you, being liked is over and above everything.
Yes.
And what do you plan to do in future, like 5 years, 10 years down the line? Since you're so young, just entering college.
This one question is something that really perplexes me. I'm not ready for it. Please don't ask me what I'm
I've got
gonna
to
do
know
in
your
5 or
feeling
10
about
years.
it.
I'm literally trying to make it to the Friday. So I'm in the humble age of 18, right? So I'm not I have not figured it out everything by myself. So
Who do you think really sees you?
to be honest, I think there's no one who sees the true me, because I myself haven't even figured out who I am. Like if you ask me, who are you, Shumika? I don't have answer for that. And I think it's completely okay not to have an answer, because, the world is changing. People are changing. So
Absolutely.
I am also changing. So today I might have figured out who am I, but tomorrow I will change. So I think, yeah, I'm flexible.
But-
I'm moving.
Is there a part of you that you feel like should be seen? Like, probably people think that you're this really strong girl, but inside, deep down, you're maybe very soft, very emotional when it comes to certain subjects. So, like a part of you that you really want people to see, others to see, so that it helps you.
I didn't quite get that.
So I'm asking, like, for example, on the top you look like very sorted,
Yeah.
but inside maybe you're a chaos, and you
Okay.
want people to understand that chaos. That Sumedha can sometimes be a little confused. Sumedha can sometimes be a little chaotic, and it's not necessary that she's always organized. So, in that way, a part of you that you want people to see, to know about you, which they do not know right now.
I think I prefer only people close to me to see that part of myself. Outside them, so yeah, I'd like to keep my performative self on.
Right. So, why this pressure of being performative?
Because the world is constantly running. It seeks clarity. You have to be perfect. You need to be this. You need to do this. So yeah, they is constantly asking me to run. You are like, it's not like I'm not permitted to stop. So yeah.
Okay. So, do you feel this innate pressure of being perfect all the time, be it like being perfectly turned out for a class, a session, or be it perfect when it comes to your scores? So, do you feel that pressure of being perfect?
Yeah, of course, from my childhood. Yeah, I'm in a Brown family, so yeah.
Okay. And that's not changed over time for you.
No, I don't think that's gonna change.
Okay. And why do you think that it's not going to change? Do you not feel that standing up for yourself, or maybe putting things down, drawing boundaries would help you in a certain way?
Can you explain?
So I'm just saying that drawing boundaries, have you tried drawing boundaries and telling people that, like, probably there's a certain way of you doing things rather than the perfect way?
Yes.
So do you feel you've done enough, or do you want to come out of that shell of being perfect all the time?
Yes, of course, I want to come out because I want to express myself. Like, I want to truly show who I am really. But sometimes it gets hard because, like people around you, they always make you feel like judged. You are being judged. It's like I'm under a CCTV surveillance all the time. Every step I take is being judged. Everything I say will be criticized. So yeah, but I don't think that's gonna stop me because sometimes I think I might appear bipolar, but sometimes I think people are controlling me. Sometimes I think, like, who are people to control me? I'm the one. I will control myself.
So you're using really extensive words like bipolar, but actually these could be a part of everyone's lives, right? So how do you handle this pressure of being under that radar all the time?
I just go with the flow.
Okay. And have you ever taken a decision that, or what kind of decision would you like to take if you would know that no one is judging you?
No one would be judging me. I think I have taken that decision. Like, till 12th, I was in science background, like in
Okay.
PCMB. So then in college, I jumped into literature. So people might think I'm whimsical, I'm gone mad that I jumped from science to literature, that it will lead me to failure. So yeah, I think that's the decision I took.
Okay, great. And what made you like take this jump? What were the challenges that you faced when you decided that you want to move from one stream to a completely extreme other stream?
So it's like it was like taking a step towards becoming myself.
Great.
So yeah, when I chose science, it was like I was choosing that under pressure. Like, I was meeting certain expectation of people. But when I chose literature, it was like taking a step toward myself, like ignoring what people will say, ignoring every judgment, every criticism. Yeah, so that's it.
Okay, lovely. And what were what gave you that courage? Was there a moving point, a turning point that made you feel like, no, come what may, I am definitely leaving science and moving to another stream of my choice?
I think that that power came from myself. So, you are given a certain amount of time between school and college. So
Right.
I think in that time, I spend a lot of time with myself, like figuring out what I do really want. I read somewhere, bird doesn't sit on a branch fearing it would break, but it sits on a branch acknowledging that it can fly if it does. So I think that really humbled me, because so what can go so wrong? I will figure it out. Even if it doesn't work out, I have the courage to face it. Like,
Yes.
what can go so wrong?
So Sumegha, are you on social media?
Yes.
Okay. How does social media make you feel about yourself?
Social media, it's like it makes me like feel connected to different people of different kind of people from different culture and background and all that. We are really connected. Like, we message, we put up stories and post and all that. But again, it's performative because it doesn't show our real self. We always post the perfect version of ourselves, so it's not authentic.
So when you said connections, I'm so glad you brought it up that social media connections may or may not be authentic depending on the kind of people you're meeting and you're interacting with. But at the same time, when you say that connections, how connected would you be like with someone who you are simply connected on through social media, vis-a-vis when you meet them, when you talk to them on a more regular basis? Would you feel there's a difference between the two? So there is a friend who you're simply talking to on only on social media, okay, through Insta DMs, through Snapchat, through stories, commenting, all of that. And then there is a friend who probably is not that active on social media. She is neither too active on Instagram. She opens Snapchat maybe once in 2-3 days. But she meets you in college. So which connection do you think is more meaningful and deep?
I think the second one is more meaningful and deep, because that's the realist thing, because he or she is showing the real the true self or of their self. So yeah, I prefer not social media, but having a deep conversation, having a small talk maybe, or some kind of funny things, over a cup of tea, I guess.
Wow. And how much pressure of this entire, putting up this demeanor of being performative is coming from social media, according to you?
I think social media has set these boundaries itself, that you need to be perfect. I think it's more on the people that use social media that has set the boundaries.
Okay. And has it ever affected you, your authenticity and your reality?
Yeah, of course, I have this constant fear of being judged, being criticized. So yeah, I think that it makes me edited version of myself before posting something new.
Very well said. Edited versions of ourselves out there on the social media. So, what do you think can prevent this? Or can there be any kind of authenticity on social media? Or do you think this is the way forward?
I think the people, it depends on the people using it.
Okay. And have you ever felt appreciated or acknowledged or validated because of social media?
Yeah, because when I post something, maybe my own picture or something, like I might have post I might have post my singing video sometimes. So when people just put up a like or maybe a comment, be it good or bad. So yeah, that's affected me. That's comment.
Okay. So, yes, you do have that at the back of your mind, the likes, the comments, it does run. So, that is a parameter that you look up to.
No, that's not. That doesn't measure my worth.
It doesn't. Great. I think that was a great conversation, and we've discussed so much about what it means to be your authentic self and how probably being connected is not the same as being, lonely, right? It's almost the same. Like you're
Yes.
being connected on social media, but you're lonely at the same time.
Yes.
Great. All right. So we have a small rapid fire round now. So now we have a very interesting rapid fire round. And as the name suggests, it has to be rapid. You need to be quick, you need to be
Okay.
fiery, and you need to keep your answers extremely crisp and concise. Are you ready, Sumegha?
Yes.
All right. So tell me how would you describe your college life in one word?
It would be ocean.
Tell me one subject or skill you would learn just for fun.
Mind reading, because I really want to know what goes inside head of people. Because
Oh.
why are we so different in opinions and everything?
Interesting. Tell me that if money would be no object, what is that one thing that you would buy?
I think an apartment in NYC.
Interesting. One food that you would describe yourself as?
Chocolate, because it leaves an aftertaste and people want to keep it a little longer in their mouth, not like pills or swallow with water. So yeah,
Great. And one word that your friends would describe you as?
ineffable. I think not I'm not someone to be described in one single word.
Okay, great. So it was very nice to have you here, Sumegha. And I hope that this conversation helps us unravel different sides of loneliness, at the same time navigating through college life just as you begin. Thank you so much.